You wake up 15,000 years ago. No tools, no phone, no idea where you even are. You look down, in your hand is a sharp rock and absolutely nothing else. And somehow, your only goal is this: build a smartphone. Sounds impossible, right? Let's see exactly how far human stubbornness can actually take a person with absolutely nothing. Before you invent anything, you need to survive long enough to think. You build a basic shelter. You learn which berries won't kill you, which roots are safe, which animals you can eat, and which ones can eat you back. For weeks, your only job is staying alive. But here's the problem. Survival eats your entire day. Nothing ever gets invented when you're starving and exhausted. So you do the one thing that actually changes everything. You start farming. You plant seeds. You raise animals. You store food instead of hunting it fresh every single day. And just like that, for the first time in your life, you have something most humans in history never had: free time. With free time, your brain finally has room to experiment instead of just survive. You notice certain rocks look different, heavier, shinier, almost metallic. Out of pure curiosity, you throw one into the fire just to see what happens. Nothing. You make the fire hotter. Still nothing. So you build a proper furnace, pack it tightly with charcoal, and push the heat further than you ever have before. And then it happens. The rock melts. You just discovered metal. Copper first, then iron not long after. Suddenly your tools don't snap. They cut deeper, hold an edge longer, and work harder than anything made of stone ever could. The Stone Age ends quietly, right there, in your tiny homemade furnace. Metal is great, but it won't build a phone on its own. You need to measure things, predict things, understand the patterns hiding underneath everything you build. So almost without realizing it, you start inventing math from scratch. Counting becomes addition. Addition becomes geometry. You start working out angles, shapes, and the way a lever trades force for distance. You begin writing your findings down, not because you feel like a genius, but because forgetting your own discoveries every few days is starting to get exhausting. This one habit, writing things down, turns out to be the reason any of this will ever actually work. One day, you rub two materials together and feel a tiny spark jump between your fingers. You freeze. You do it again. Same spark. You just touch the same force that lights up the entire sky during a storm. But a spark isn't useful by itself. You need electricity on demand, not by accident. So you build a crude motor. You test which metals carry a charge better than others. You slowly learn the words you'll need for everything that comes next: voltage, current, resistance. None of this feels like progress yet. It feels like wasted time, honestly. But it's the quiet foundation for absolutely everything your future phone will ever do. You connect two metal wires across a distance and tap one end. The other end reacts. You just built a telegraph. The first time in human history, information has moved faster than a running messenger. You're testing it again one evening when something strange happens. A small metal loop sitting across the room, completely disconnected from anything, sparks every single time your circuit does. That shouldn't be possible. Electricity needs a wire to travel, except apparently it doesn't. You move the loop further away. You put a wall between them. It still sparks. You just discovered radio waves, invisible signals traveling through walls, through air, through everything, without a single wire connecting them. Somewhere in the back of your mind, a phone is finally starting to look a little less impossible. But to actually build a phone, you need a brain for it, a processor, and that means silicon, purified to a level that sounds genuinely insane. Not 99% pure, not even 99.9%. You need it almost completely perfect. That kind of purity needs factories, chemical processes, and entire supply chains that don't exist yet anywhere on Earth. So annoyingly, you build those too. Out of that silicon, you create transistors, tiny electronic switches. A single modern chip holds billions of them, each one smaller than a speck of dust, all working together in perfect rhythm thousands of times a second. You just built the brain of your future phone, one impossible step at a time.
A phone needs a screen, which means you need glass, clear, thin, and precise. You melt sand at extreme heat until it turns fully liquid, then cool it down just right so it doesn't crack or cloud over. After dozens of failed attempts and more broken sheets than you can count, you finally get something clear enough to actually see through. Now you need it to glow. You experiment with tiny electrical currents passing through specific materials until they emit light. Different combinations give you different colors: red, green, blue. Combine them correctly in the right ratio, and you can create almost any color the human eye is able to see. You just invented the display. Right now, every single thing you've built only works while electricity is actively running through it. But a phone needs to work in your pocket, far away from any wire. So you experiment with chemicals that react against metal plates, creating a steady electric charge that doesn't disappear the second you stop watching it. After plenty of explosions you'd genuinely rather forget, you finally build something stable enough to trust. A battery. Power you can actually carry with you. You have a processor. You have a screen. You have power. Now you need software. Instructions that tell all of this what to actually do with itself. You create a simple language made of just two values, on and off, repeated billions of times every single second. You build an operating system from scratch, piece by piece, mistake by mistake, line by frustrating line. For the first time, your pile of metal, glass, and wire isn't just hardware sitting there. It can actually respond to you. You connect your radio signal work to your processor. You connect your battery to your screen. You wire your software into every single piece you've built across what feels like a lifetime. And after years of failure, fire, burnt fingers, and pure stubborn obsession, you're holding it. A phone, built completely from scratch, powered by sunlight, math, melted rock, and nothing but human stubbornness refusing to quit. You worked harder, alone, than entire ancient civilizations once worked together, just to reach this single moment in your hand. You stare at the glowing screen sitting in your palm. This one small device just walked you through metallurgy, mathematics, electricity, radio waves, chemistry, and computer science, all combined into something that fits in your pocket. You expect to feel like an absolute genius. Instead, you open the App Store, scroll for 20 minutes straight, and completely forget what you were even trying to do with it in the first place. Humanity spent 10,000 years building this exact thing, and somehow we mainly use it to watch other people's vacations. If your ancestors spent 10,000 years just so you could end up here, watching a stick figure build a phone out of rocks, the least you could do is hit subscribe. It costs you nothing, unlike apparently civilization.